Welcome back to Rhythm and Roads. I'm your host, Joshua Jacob. We have a very special guest all the way from Germany. We have Tina Deutschmann. She's a semi-professional beach volleyball athlete. So welcome, Tina, to Rhythm and Roads.
Thank you so much, Joshua.
Yeah, I know we've been talking about this for almost a month, so it's a pleasure to have you on. Time
Yeah, so it's
flies.
on finally, right?
Yeah, yeah, but I came across your page. I guess what a advertisement or something. I was all like, "Oh, that's cool." Like I haven't had an athlete on my podcast, and but I mean, I used to play volleyball in high school a little bit. I mean, with
Oh,
my
you
guy
did?
friends,
Nice.
but it wasn't on the beach. It was like just at school,
The indoor. No,
in
just
or
kidding.
whatever. Yeah, indoor, but it was still fun. It was cool. So I was just like, "Hey, that'd be different," So that's why I reached out to. So yeah.
Okay, yeah, really, really cool. I'm really looking forward and I'm really a little bit excited. So yeah, let's do
Awesome.
it.
And I've never had anyone outside the country, so this is oh no, I have. I'm sorry. I did bring on some filmmakers from Mexico, but from
Okay,
Germany, I have not. So that's different.
okay. So
Cool.
I'm the first one. Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Well, one thing about my guests is I always like to get to know your story. I like for the viewers to get to know you. I don't want to just jump straight into the sport. We want to get to know you, and I'm aware that you're also a teacher. So
Mhm.
we could start of like where you're from, and then go from what interests you to want to become a teacher, but also
Mhm.
then we'll go into the whole sport of volleyball.
Okay. So it's actually a little bit connected. So I
Okay.
think we're gonna make that work.
Yeah.
All right. So, well, let me think about it. My parents, or I grew up near Stuttgart, and my parents, they're originally from near Leipzig, which is in eastern Germany,
Okay.
and they moved back, I think now about 9 to 10 years ago. And yeah, I just like I said, I grew up near Stuttgart, and let's say it like that, sport has always been a really big part of my life. When I was a little child, I think really up to 4 years old,
Wow.
my
Okay.
parents took me with them to go hiking in the Austrian Alps. And I can remember I loved that. And when I see the pictures, just smiling and being in nature, and it was really amazing. And I love
Yeah.
going to the Austrian Alps. There is a really lovely place. It's called Pitztal. I don't know if you have ever heard about it. And it's
No.
in Tyrol. I think that's how you pronounce it. In Germany, we say Tirol.
Okay.
And, it is a valley and it's a very steep valley. And at the back, there is only a really high mountain and there's nothing but nature.
Wow.
And there's a hotel, and this is my second family actually. I've been there for the first time with 3 or 4 years, and
Oh, wow.
yeah, we are really deeply connected. And this is like my, let's say, safe space. You know what I mean? When I'm like stressed, I'm like, oh, let's go to Sportalm. Then I can calm down a little bit. And this is also the name of the hotel. It's Sportalm, it has to do with sports also.
Mm, okay.
And yeah, so my
So,
father, sorry?
I know I was going to say, so that's like your safe haven then when you go there.
Safe
It's
haven, yes. I think this is
yeah.
makes more sense. Yeah, sorry.
like well, your vacation spot, but it's more where you can just reset yourself,
Yeah.
kind of like just have your you time. Yeah.
Yeah, really, definitely. And
That's awesome.
it
Wow.
is like quiet. It's a quiet
Yeah.
place, and when you're at school, then it's sometimes all the noises and all the children, Miss Deutschmann, Miss Deutschmann, Miss Deutschmann, everybody wants to know anything. And this is totally okay and cool
Mm.
and normal. But when you get home, you're like, oof.
Oh man.
Yeah, and my father, he was like also a track and field athlete. He was a runner, but he didn't do it in a professional way, only like for fun. And yeah, my mom, she was a professional athlete. She did gymnastics.
Wow.
I'm
Okay.
not a gymnast, believe me, you you won't see that. No.
Oh wow.
Um, yes, and when I was a child, I think they started with like children gymnastics, where you go once a week and you meet other not toddlers, but other tiny children, and you like try to learn something with your body actually.
Yeah.
And then it was really like I think with I think 5 to 6 years when I started to run for the very first time with my dad. And of course, I was running and going and running and going. And there was such a specific like trail. It was called Trimm-dich-Pfad. It means something, go and work on yourself.
Yeah.
That's how you actually can translate it. And there were different stations to like play on and do exercises, you know.
Mm.
And this was what my father did, and I was playing around and running a little bit. And yeah, out of that, the running part came into my life actually. And I can remember there were the yeah, like cities championships in the little village where I grew up, or in the
Oh,
little
wow. Okay.
and I know that I won every discipline, 4 or 5 gold medals then. And then the trainer came and was like, hey, have you ever thought about
Oh,
coming to us? Yes, and
yeah.
this was the beginning of the track and field.
Okay.
Yeah,
That's right.
so
You do track and field because I've been seeing some of your posts and yeah, you're a runner.
I'm trying to push my boyfriend because he is an indoor volleyball athlete.
Oh, okay,
And
cool.
yeah, but he also plays a little bit of beach volleyball, and he's good at it actually.
Yeah. Oh, that's good.
Yeah, and he is trying to like become a sports teacher as well.
Oh,
And in
wow.
Germany, you have to take a test
Oh,
in different disciplines, and you have to pass it so you can study that. And his problem is the running part because he's very tall. He's 2 meter and 8,
oh, wow.
and he has this long legs, and
Yeah.
normally it shouldn't be a problem. But since he was never a runner, and
Mm.
yeah, so he doesn't have like the right technique.
I see.
So I'm
Okay.
trying to really push him hard. And
Yeah.
yeah, I hope it will work out actually.
Yeah. That's cool that you both are into the sport and you are both like encouraging each other. But it's awesome
Yeah.
that he has his own goal of doing like being a runner and just doing what he's doing.
Mhm.
So yeah, I'm glad it's working out perfectly for you both.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it does. Yeah. Actually, I think it's kind of important because he was in the National League in Germany, and he's playing in the first, it's called Bundesliga here. I think it's the first league, how you would say that.
Oh wow.
And
Okay.
during his season, every weekend is volleyball. So
Mm.
that means he travels to Berlin, he travels to Lüneburg, which is in the very north of Germany near Hamburg.
Oh wow.
And of course, he also has games at home, and then I'm part of it because I'd like to watch it.
Yeah.
But it's hard, since I work full time. There is not much time left, and then there you only have the weekend.
Mm.
And then it's like I'm coming home Friday. He's like, okay, see you on Saturday, Sunday.
Yeah.
Great, let's go.
Do you ever go with him though on any of the trips?
Well, actually, when he travels with his teammates, I don't do that
Oh,
because
okay.
I often also have to work during the weekend
Oh, during the
to
week.
like
Okay.
prepare lessons and stuff. So
I see.
this would be like too much actually.
Mm.
But I watch every game online then, and yeah, at least that I try to support him in that way.
Yeah. All right. And did you already answer the question of what inspired you to become a teacher? Like
No, but
what?
I talked a lot,
Oh
right?
no. Okay. I was like, did I miss that already or no?
No.
No, I'm enjoying it. Yeah, great stuff.
Yeah, no, but it was like actually right from the beginning, I was very much into English. I like this language very much. I don't know why. It's like the sound of it, the people, I don't know.
Well, you're doing
And
great with your English.
thank you.
Yeah.
Wait, when we talk about specific things, then I'm going to like stumble. I hope not.
Yeah. No, no, you're good.
Thank you so much.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I wanted to like encourage people to do sports, because when you like read all these scientific test results and
Mm.
all these now I'm stumbling, see, you see, not the letters, but when somebody did some research and write something down, how you call that, the result of that.
When someone research,
There is a
um,
specific name. I know it from my master thesis, but I can't remember right now.
well, it's okay.
But you know what I
Yeah,
mean,
I know
right?
what you mean. Yeah.
Yeah, and so many people, they don't know that doing sports can help you so much with your whole life. So
Mm,
this is being healthy is
yeah.
the thing, you know. And when I was younger, of course, it was cool to do sports, and I like to be in the team, and I like to, yeah, I'd like to be sportive, you know, to try different things and to be active the whole day. But the older you get, or the older I get, the more I realize that it is really like a main part of
Mm.
the whole life, you know.
Yeah,
So
no, it is.
yeah, and this is what I also try to teach the students, you know, because in Germany, I don't know how it works in the USA. We have
Mhm.
separated groups when it comes to PE.
Okay.
I only teach girls. And, you know, sometimes the girls are like, oh, Miss Deutschmann, I can't take part in PE today because my tummy hurts so much. And oh no, it's so hot. I'm not feeling good and stuff like that. Not everybody, don't get me wrong, but you know,
Yeah.
they don't want to sweat because, well, afterwards they have class and there's maybe a guy they like. And then, yeah, you know, it could be a little bit. So they try to, yeah, well, find some excuses to not
Yeah.
do it. And then I'm sometimes like, girls, come on, you know, there's
Yeah.
so much in it, so try to do it, at least try to, you know. And this is actually what yeah, made me become a teacher, because I'd like to, yeah, bring people to sports, actually. Yeah.
Okay. So with your I guess the girls from that grade
Mhm.
you teach, you also do PE, right? Because you say you teach English, but then you
Yeah.
also do PE.
Yeah.
Okay. Wow. So I take it you're very strong with being healthy. Like you want to always, that's like a goal to continue to educate,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
So like for us, like what's in the importance to be active, like for our age? Like I'm 37,
I'm
excuse
35, you
me.
know, so
But I mean, like, like I've heard it's really good. It's good to keep your body moving, to be
yeah.
at the gym. The sweat helps detox. I mean,
Yeah.
what's the
Yeah.
importance of being active? If you want to share a little bit of that.
Yeah, well, this is what I meant with specific vocabulary, but I try to like make myself clear.
No, no, that's fine.
Nah, you know, it's all about it. You know, you don't have to be a professional athlete,
Hmm.
but it's really important to like do your steps, drink enough water,
Mm.
because this increases your whole, you know, performance in every
Right.
bit. It's not only about sports and being active, it's also about your job. It's also about being concentrated,
Mm.
giving your best, everything like that. When your whole body works perfectly fine in a
Yeah.
physical way,
Right.
then your brain also does this. And this is in so many researches, or this is what the result of so many researches was, that
Oh,
it improves your whole performance. And this is what I think is a superpower, you know, this is crazy.
yeah.
This actually works.
Yeah.
I can't remember who did this research, but it was that children had to run, I think, 1 mile before they started with their classes.
Really?
And
Oh, wow.
yeah, yeah, it's long ago, but
Yeah.
yeah, it was a test, and they could show, or the results showed that their whole performance improved
Really? Oh,
compared to
wow.
the pupils that didn't run. And I think this is like, what? So
That's
what?
interesting. Wow.
Yeah, it's really, really crazy. And this is what I meant, you know. Of course, it is not like magic, of course not, but it can
Right.
help, you know.
Yeah, it can
So,
help.
and sometimes when children are, let's say, the parents don't have much time for them, and they're maybe kind of neglected, but not very much, you know what I mean? But
Mhm.
they are not like have or spend so much time in their children. And I also think that this is kind of what I can try to give them, you know,
Yeah.
like to push them on the right path a little bit.
Yeah.
If it works or not, yeah, well, you know, at
Yeah,
least
at
I
least
can.
you're trying. Yeah.
So yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
that's actually what I want to do.
That's very interesting that you mentioned that once they did that mile, it
Hmm.
actually helps improve their
Yeah,
studies, the work. Huh.
yeah. This
That's
is
it. Yeah,
crazy, right?
that is crazy. Yeah.
Yeah, I know.
Now, real quick, we'll move on from that, but I do want to ask you for greens and all that, because I'm not the type to eat greens, right? I don't eat like a lot of it, but I do like to drink it. So I do like to, I don't know if you've heard of the brand AG1. Have you heard of AG1? No. So it's just it's a green powder that has all the nutrients you need, vitamins, and you just drink it. You just stir it and drink it. But it's
Okay,
very
okay.
popular. It's one of the popular brands here in the US.
Ah,
So
okay.
AG1, yeah.
I'll
And
wait for it.
but maybe
Okay.
yeah.
I
So I'm just
think
asking.
I think I saw some advertisement on Instagram.
Yeah,
That's
AG1. It's pretty
possible.
popular.
It is green actually,
Yeah,
right?
it's a
The
green
drink is
container.
green.
Yeah,
Yeah, yeah, I
yeah,
think
yeah.
so. Yeah, 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 yeah.
So that's what I take, and yeah,
Okay.
because I don't like eating greens. I like drinking greens. But
Okay.
like for you, what do you take that you recommend, or what do you take for greens? How important that is?
Okay, and now that's really a problem because it is a sponsor of mine.
Oh, it
But
is? Okay.
I drink Super Me. I don't know if you heard
Super
of that.
me?
Yes, it
Oh,
is like a
interesting.
small shot actually,
Oh,
and
wow.
it
Okay.
contains over 1 kilogram of like fruit,
Wow.
and
Okay.
it doesn't contain any like hmm, wait. It's only all about natural ingredients.
Yeah,
No
natural.
synthetic ones. Now I
Yeah.
got it. Yeah. And
Organic and stuff like that.
yes, organic. Yes, that's the yeah.
Non-GMO.
Yeah, yeah,
All
yeah,
that.
really.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
you love about it because I started taking this last year, I think in September,
Okay.
because every day I deal with so many people and children actually,
Mm.
and somebody is having a cold, the other one is like really, really sick and still goes to school, and you're like, oh.
Yeah.
And at the beginning of my, I say, teaching career, I really was sick often. Like my
Really? Oh, wow.
nose was like, yeah, well, I got a cold and I got it several times.
Mm-hmm.
And since I take it, it in my whole health increased so much. And I don't know if it's only about, well, if it's only a psychological effect,
Mm.
but this is what I do in the morning. Normally, of course, I get my coffee afterwards,
Oh,
but I
coffee.
go
Okay,
to,
good.
yeah, it has to be. But
Yeah.
first of all, I go to the mhm. So you see, now I'm struggling. I'm looking for words. It
Oh,
is cold. You open it, and there are
okay.
the cold things inside. What is it called? Like the fridge. Now
The
I got.
fridge. Okay. You're good.
Sorry.
There you're good.
Yeah, my first walk is to the fridge.
Yeah.
I
Okay.
take the shot, and then I have my coffee and brush my teeth and stuff like that. But this is the first thing in the morning, actually.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah.
And so that
So
shot that you're
I
talking about,
recommend
that's
that.
is it was that?
I can recommend that,
Oh yeah, no thanks. Yeah.
especially for you.
And
When
so
you
that
say you
shot that
don't
you
like
take
that.
has all that the greens and the nutrients and
Yeah,
okay,
yeah,
interesting. Wow.
yeah.
Yeah. Well, that's really cool that that's your one of your sponsors.
I love it, really. And
Oh, I
I just
bet.
wrote them because I thought, maybe they're interested in a cooperation. So I was,
Oh
hello,
yeah.
I love your drink. And they were like, oh, yeah, very cool. Let's do this. Okay, perfect. That worked
Yeah.
out.
No, that's cool. I'm glad it worked out.
Thank
Real
you.
quick, because I'm a huge coffee drinker as well. I love coffee.
Mhm.
What's your kind of coffee that you like? What do you usually make a certain coffee? Do you put like
I like,
hazelnut? Do you put like
sorry, I didn't get it
oh,
first.
so I'm very big on
Yeah,
coffee. I
that's
love
what I
coffee.
heard.
Yeah,
Yeah,
so
yeah.
what's your kind of coffee do you like? Like do you yeah, like your style of
Um,
like for mine I like cold brew, I put cream on top.
that's the thing. Yeah, right now I do have a cold brew with the ice cubes in it.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, this is what I prefer right now because we have over 30 degrees. It's really hot here in Germany. I don't know what it's like at your place right now.
It's probably 89 degrees.
Yeah, well, you do have another scale, right?
Yeah,
You do have Celsius. What do you have?
it's 89 degrees Fahrenheit.
Fahrenheit, yes. And
Yeah.
what is it in Celsius? I
Uh,
got no idea.
that's a question. Let me see.
Yeah, sorry, but
Yeah. Well, actually, let me see. I'm looking at the chart right now. It's actually 78. Oh, it's actually really good right now. Because the past
Okay.
last week we were in the hundreds.
Really? Okay.
Yeah, but
So
right
for
now it's 78.
Germany, we do have a heat wave right now. So
Oh,
it
do
is
you? Oh, wow.
really, yeah, it's heavy. Yeah. And normally I'm so much into warm weather, but
Mm.
this is even for me a little bit too hot.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So cold brew is perfectly fine, or yeah, latte macchiato. This is also what I like, or cappuccino. So this is like
Nice. I bet out there in Germany they have certain coffees that here in the US we just have never tried before. Because I
okay.
mean, I've tried a lot of local shops here in the US. I've tried,
Yeah.
of course, Starbucks, because,
Yes.
yeah, but I mean, I'm always curious about other countries that have their own style of coffee that when you drink,
Yeah.
you're like, whoa, this is like totally different.
Oh, but it's actually not to be
No?
honest. So I love Starbucks. I know this is like very commercial, but I really like it, especially the cold brew with what was
The
it?
cold foam
The
on top?
vanilla.
Yeah, the
Yes,
vanilla.
the vanilla.
Yes.
Oh,
Oh.
good. I like it. And when I'm stepping on, no, I'm stepping. When I walk and I see a Starbucks and I go inside, because yeah, it's good.
Yeah. That's good. One thing I did try, and then we'll move on,
Yeah.
is I put in my cold brew, I put cayenne pepper. It's a little
Well,
spice, a
seriously,
powder. Yeah, and I
crazy.
sprinkle it in there and
Okay.
with the white cream in there. And I just twirl it, of course, and it's good. It gives it a nice kick. Yeah, but it doesn't have
Okay.
flavor. It just makes it a little spicy.
Okay, but it's interesting mixture what you're talking
Yeah,
about.
cayenne.
I don't know if I would love to taste that.
Are you big on spice or no? Do you like spicy?
It depends actually.
Oh, it depends.
So,
Okay.
a pizza Diavolo can be like perfectly fine,
Yeah.
but it can be also like I'm starting to sweat and like, oh no. It really depends, but
Okay.
sometimes I like it. Yeah.
Okay. Well, yeah, the cayenne pepper's not spicy, like hot. It just gives it a nice little like cinnamon. It kind of like cinnamon, a little bit, where it's like
Yeah.
a bit of
Okay.
a kick. Yeah. Anyway,
That
it's
that
good.
that's lovely. Cinnamon, yeah, but no.
Oh, yeah, that's fine. So, what's next for you to on your journey as a volleyball athlete? Do you plan on like? Because I saw some of your footage yesterday. I mean, that looked really fun. Because
It
like, how did
was
that go yesterday?
amazing. Yeah, actually, I had some problems on Saturday. We had to drive 200 kilometers one way for the tournament because we didn't get into the tournament we wanted to play.
Oh,
We weren't on the waiting list. And yeah, so that was pretty annoying. Just like I told you before, I have to do a lot of correcting right now.
mm.
So I got up at, I don't know, the alarm went off on I think 4:30, 4:45, and then we had to leave at 8 because our tournament started at 9:30, no, at 9:45, which is actually a good time because normally it starts at 9
Oh,
a.m. sharp. Yeah, and we had to drive like 200 kilometers, and just like I said, I worked before and it was so hot,
yeah.
and I felt good when we like were warming up and then the game started. And I think after about 5 or 10 minutes, I was like, what is going on? And I had a look on my watch and it said the pulse was over 195. And I was like, whoa, shit, okay.
Whoa.
Tried to calm down a little bit and it didn't go down. So we
Mm.
lost it, unfortunately, with only a 2 point difference. So I still made it through, but it was like hard fight really. And I was like to my partner, Alina, I'm sorry, but I'm really feeling not well right now.
Oh,
And
okay.
she was like, okay, do you want to give up? And no, I'm not a quitter. So of course, no.
Like no.
So yeah, maybe it also actually was a little bit dumb because during this first game, I felt like no, it was really not good, and I felt like fanning out. But
Really?
yeah,
Wow.
I did a longer pause after that. Went inside. It was a little bit cooler,
Yeah.
and I called my boyfriend because I was also like a little bit like desperate,
Mm.
because my body didn't function like I wanted it to, and
Really?
this was
Wow.
actually the first time on court that that happened to me. So I was also a little bit afraid and
Yeah.
yes, overwhelmed actually, but not in a good way. And yeah, the second game was better. I felt so much better,
Okay.
but we also lost with 2 points difference.
Oh
So
man.
yeah, it was not really a good day on Saturday. But then we head back and I went to bed straight and I was like, okay,
Yeah.
I hope I can play tomorrow, but I have to like rest a little bit. And yesterday was much better. I felt much better. The first game was actually against really good girls. They played very well. And
Mm.
the first set we lost, I think, with a 5 point difference. And the second, we were 5 points ahead. And
Oh,
then we
okay.
lost it. I don't know how. I got no idea. Yeah, but it was okay. The
Yeah.
second game we won. And the third game was also something like that, 2 point difference.
Good boy.
So I was like, nah, it was a little bit like, yeah,
Yeah.
annoying, because I'm, how can I describe that best that it that you do not get that wrong. I'm not like overly, disciplined or motivated, but when I'm on the court, I want to win. So,
Yeah.
and I put so much effort in it and I try my very best. And of course, I am disappointed when we lose.
Oh yeah.
But,
Mm.
if it was a good game and you can say, hey, okay, today they were better, then it's like that and then it's okay. But something like that on Saturday, when I know I couldn't perform at my best,
Mm.
I hate something like that. This is like, no, I do not like it. Yeah.
Are you pretty hard on yourself when you lose the game?
Well, since I come from this professional running background,
Yeah.
to be honest, I had so much struggle with that in the last couple of years.
Wow.
Because yeah, I try to like make clear what I want to say.
Yeah.
Um, you know, when I was a runner, I was really very good. I was at the top of Germany,
Oh
and it
wow.
was like, yeah, but only until I was 16, it's like
Okay.
16 and 17. So then I
Yeah.
had to stop. But um, when I put effort in it, it worked out. I
Mm.
worked really hard and I won.
Mm.
So this is how it worked in my past. So, and now you come to another sport and your brain doesn't get that it's not about the running now,
Mm.
because yeah, your brain doesn't get that this is a very different sport right now
Yeah.
and that you
Yeah.
can't be the best when you start. So when I started playing beach volleyball, I was so highly over motivated, but
Mm.
only with myself. So I'm not the person who like shouts at his or her partner. I would never ever do that because
Okay.
some teams do that. I'm
Oh,
not
they
that
do.
kind of person because, well, of course I try to motivate and I'm like, run, 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 come on, come on, come
Yeah.
on.
Yeah.
Yeah. But I'm not like, it's your fault. I would never ever do that because I know everybody is giving their very best, but I am hard on myself. So
Mm.
that means when, for example, um, I do a service and it's in the net or it's outside, I'm like, what's wrong with you, Tina? Concentrate, because this is only about concentration. And yeah, well, since I kind of, how can I say this properly? Um, in former years, everything was about the sport with me, and I also put that on me as a personality. So
Mm.
when I was good at sports, yes, I'm a good person. When I'm not good at sports or when I wasn't good at the run or the race, well, I'm not a good person. This is like crazy, and I know that, and I know
Wow.
that it doesn't like
Doesn't
um
define you. Yeah.
yeah, define. That was the word I was
Yeah.
looking for. Yes. So the sport kind of defined myself, and this is a good way when you're like performing at your best.
Oh yeah.
But of course, you're a human being, or I am a human being, and you can't perform at your best every time. It doesn't work.
Mm.
And when I did my studies, when I studied English and PE, um, and for example, a exam didn't work out as I planned. Ooh,
Wow.
then I really had problems with myself.
Okay.
because I was like, okay, what's going on? You put a lot of effort in it. You studied very hard.
Hmm.
Why is it only like a medium grade, you know?
Oh, okay.
And this is really, really not easy to like work on. My best friend, she is a former rowing girl.
Oh, okay,
She
cool.
was even a world championship winner under 22 years.
Really? Wow.
Yeah.
Good for her.
And she's a machine, you know. She's like, wow, okay. Now she has two children and she's still very sportive, but of course she well has a lot to do with her family.
Yeah.
And she also told me the same thing. And I think this is why we are so close. Because yeah, you are so damn hard on yourself when you're coming from a um, individual discipline, you know, because you do not yeah, grow up in a team. Of course, kind of, yes, I had my other runners with me and I had my best friends there and everything. But on the track and field arena, I was on myself or I was alone. I had to fight against myself, you
Yeah.
know? And I know that sounds kind of really hard, but I ran the 800 meters. And for me, this is the hardest discipline. It really is
Wow.
because, you know, 400 meters is also hard, but it is one round and then it's over, you know, you die, yes, but then it's over.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But with the 800 meters, it's
Oh
like
Lord.
you run and you have to like sprint at the beginning to get your position.
Yeah.
Then you kind of well relax. It's not really relaxing, but you try to find your rhythm, you know.
Right.
And then in the second round, you have to go, 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 go. And you
No.
have to fight until you, yeah, not until you die, but you feel like dying, you know?
Right? Oh, I can imagine. So yeah, it's all about the mindset, right? The mind.
Yes, that
Yeah.
and that's the thing.
Yeah.
And you fight against yourself, you
Mm.
know?
Yeah.
And this is what I did with my studies, not the
Wow.
whole time, of course not, but you know, you are disciplined, you're motivated, and you only want to give your very best. And if
Okay.
that didn't work out, I had to, yeah, I had to like work on myself a lot actually,
Mm.
because I already knew that at that time that it's not good for me, you know,
Okay.
because well my parents were like, Tina, what's going on? So you cannot make the sport or let the sport define yourself, just what you said.
Mhm.
But you know, when you like in that mindset,
Yeah.
even if you know it,
Right.
it's really hard to get out of that. And just
Yeah.
like I said, my best friend, she fought the same war, the same battle.
Yeah.
And I think right now, for me, it got so much better
Wow.
because
Good.
I really worked on myself.
Yeah.
But of course, sometimes when I'm on the court and it is a situation, and you know, right now you have to perform
Mhm.
because otherwise you're gonna lose, and then the tournament is over. You know, then you're
Oh
out.
yeah. Yeah.
Of course, this puts a lot of pressure on me, but
I bet.
I'm like, okay, Tina, breathe, let's go. You can
Yeah.
only do your very best. That's
Yeah.
what you can do. And this is also what I told my partner on Saturday. I was like, Alina, I'm really sorry. I'm trying my very best, but that's all I can do.
Right.
And my mom actually helped me a lot with that mindset. You know, not in every federal state in Germany, but in Bavaria, for example, you have to write a state exam at the end of your studies to become a teacher.
Oh,
Um, I did that, but I also wrote a master's thesis to like, yeah, to have a backup, you know,
wow.
because the state exam is like you write it after 5 or 6 years of
Hmm.
studying and you did or you had to pass all the other exams before that. And then it's like a surprise what you're going, which kind of topic you have to write about in a state exam. And this put a lot of pressure on me because I couldn't control that, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah, it was like, okay,
Yeah.
wow, there is so much to study. You can't study everything. It doesn't work out, or
Right. Yeah.
it doesn't work out. Yeah. But this is why I did the master thesis as well, because this was something you know what you're writing about, you know your yeah, topic,
Mm.
and when it is interesting for you, it is also a lot of fun actually, you
Oh
know,
yeah.
because you find out. And I also wrote about like positive effects, what sport can bring, you know. And so
Yeah.
since I'm
Right.
very interested in that topic, it was like, oh cool, well, see, papers, now I got it, research papers,
Mm.
yes.
Yeah.
When you like read that, and it's like, wow, crazy, how cool is that, you know? So that was a lot of fun actually, but this was something I could control.
Interesting.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Well, no, I want to actually add to that, and thank you for sharing that. But yeah, it is very important the way that you see yourself. Not to be overly hard on yourself, but give yourself
Mm-hmm.
grace. You know, you can
Yeah.
only do so much as a human being. You're not Wonder
Yeah.
Woman. You're not Superman
Yeah.
out there.
Unfortunately, not actually.
Unfortunately, yeah. But one thing about yes, the mindset is that it is very powerful. It's very strong what you believe about yourself, how you see yourself, the mind, the
Oh
words,
yeah.
the affirmations, what you tell yourself.
Mm-hmm.
But the thing is yes, as long as you put the action in the work and you
Mm-hmm.
try your very best, and if you fail, it's okay if you fail
Yes.
because you learn, you grow from the
Definitely.
experience, yeah,
And
and you
this
get
was
back
a,
up.
a
Yeah,
way of learning for me to like realize that, you know. And
yeah.
this is what I said, what my mom, or where my mom helped me a lot, because she said, Tina, write a note.
Hmm.
I'm trying my very best.
Mm,
That's all I can do.
that's all you can do.
Yes. And she said, put it on your desk so you can see that every day. And this helped me so much because
Wow.
she tried to put away the pressure, because she said, Tina, what else would you want to do? If you fail, you fail, but you tried your very best. You can't do more, you know? But what you said is also very interesting, because this is what my father always says. In
Oh, is
Germany,
that
we have
right?
a
Okay.
saying, yeah, we say, der Glaube versetzt Berge, which means what you believe can move mountains.
Mm,
In a very
right.
like,
Yeah.
but you
Yeah.
know what I mean, right?
Oh yeah, of course, yeah. I mean, there's
That's
a
the
saying,
thing.
faith moves mountains. Yeah, faith moves
Yes,
mountains. Yeah. And
yes,
using your faith is from my definition of using your faith is saying, okay, I've never tried this or I've never pursued this, but I'm going to try it and I'm going
yeah,
to do it. And then whatever happens, I'm going to be okay.
yeah,
That's faith in movement because you're doing something
yes,
you have never tried. And then the results
definitely.
could either be great or results can be a learning experience. I will never
Yeah,
say,
but if you don't try, you'll never see that, right?
I'll see that.
Yeah,
That's right. Yeah. And there, you don't want to be in the if part two where you're going to be like, wonder if I would have done it.
that's yeah, and that's the thing,
You
right?
never
Yeah,
know.
definitely.
Yeah.
But this is like, so, or it was such a long process for me to deal with that kind of pressure, to like be
Yeah.
okay with that, be okay with the trying, you know?
Yeah. Yeah.
But now, yeah, it works out.
Well, yeah, it does. You know, a lot of great athletes out there, especially like Michael Jordan, the basketball player that you know of, and then so many other greats. They failed a lot, and they're from things I've read. Taking the winning shot, right? Like
Yeah,
Michael Jordan, if he was at the maybe 5 seconds left on the clock and he had to win the championship and he
yeah,
missed,
crazy.
right? I mean, imagine how he felt. But the thing is, he learned and he grew, and yes, it probably was a devastating loss but he's one of the greats, right? So he kept
Yes.
going. He learned. He kept going from even
And I
missing
think, yes,
shots. So
that's kind of the important thing, you know, you can fall, but you have to stand up. And that's what my father tried
yeah.
to tell me when I was like studying for the state exam. He was like, Tina, you can fail. That's fine.
Hmm.
That's life, you know, that's how
Oh,
it works. But the important thing is you have to get up afterwards. Do
that's
not
right.
lie down and stay there.
Yeah.
And yeah, I know these are like sayings, you know, but I think people are, yeah, these sayings, they became a thing after a couple of years, or
Yeah.
after 100 of years, I don't know, but I think they make a lot of sense, you know?
It does. Yeah. It's a good
Yeah,
reminder to have. You need to tell
yes,
yourself certain things like your mom gave you
yeah,
that chart, right?
yeah,
That way you could always see it. Yeah. I
yeah,
mean, you got to remind yourself. And it's good to journal too if you ever journal,
yeah.
write, to write
Yeah,
some
that's
things
what I
down.
did during the state exam. Yes.
Okay.
Yeah,
Awesome.
I stopped that because, well, Actually, right now I'm totally fine with myself.
Yeah.
But at that time, I knew I have to really work on myself and I
Mm,
really have to do something to improve my whole situation because, you know, it's not easy if you put yourself so much under pressure.
mm.
This is like, it's annoying, actually.
I
It
bet.
really is.
Yeah.
Yeah. And right now, it is really, I became a person that can definitely live with failure. You
Mm.
know, I know I'm not perfect and I know I will never be, but nobody actually is. So, and that's fine.
Yes.
I'm really fine with that. I know it sounds a little bit, I don't know, maybe even pathetic, but I really am with that. I'm really fine with that.
Right. So it's more like you accepted it. You
Yeah,
accept it
more
instead
like
of
that. Yeah.
fighting it, instead of struggling with it, instead of pushing it back, you
Yeah.
accept it like, hey, if I fail, I'm okay. I'm gonna be okay.
Yes.
And once you
Yes.
accept it, then it's like if it does happen, you're okay. Like,
And I'm
I'm
still
all
a good
right.
person, you
Yeah, I'm
know?
still a
That's
good
the thing.
person. I'm still a
Yeah.
great, athlete. Like I'm still, yeah.
Yeah, but this is
No one's
really
gonna,
crazy
yeah.
under what kind of pressure I put myself. And I did not, I still don't know where this actually came from
Mm,
because my parents never pressured me, never. They were like, Tina, we know you are good.
right.
Try your very best. And we are happy when you try your very best. That's fine with us, you know? So
Yeah.
they never put that pressure on me. And I don't know why I put it so much on myself. I got no idea, actually. No.
Maybe I mean, I'm just guessing, maybe because of
Yeah,
your competitive spirit that you might have. Maybe you're like, I want to be the
maybe. Yeah.
best and I want to be better than this person, or I want to, you know what I mean? Like, I want to be as
Yeah.
best, maybe. And if you see yourself,
Yeah.
I don't know, because you do seem like you have that maybe a competitive spirit where you're like, very like, I want to compete and
I
be the
am. I
best.
really, when I'm on court, I'm
Right,
like,
right. Yeah.
I want to do it. I want to give it all, you know,
Yeah.
because I'm very passionate about it.
That's
And
good.
I
Yeah.
was with the running as well. But yeah, I think this is like, it can change very much because this attitude can help you so much to show your best performance. But if that's like in Germany, we say, wenn die Situation kippt, that means when it shifts down, then this whole thing can blow up your whole mind, you know?
Oh,
And then
yeah.
you
Yeah, I
can't
can
perform at
imagine.
all.
Yeah.
And beach volleyball actually is about, um, yeah, psychological things as well, you
Oh,
know?
yeah.
You stand there, you are on court, and
Right.
sometimes there's trash talk and stuff like that, or that are some viewers, well, this handset wasn't good or anything like that. You
Mm,
have to try to put that away, you know, you
yeah.
have to try to be by yourself. And this is also like a way, or you have to learn how to talk to yourself in this kind of situations, how you can calm yourself down, right? That you like let them talk, concentrate on yourself and stuff
Yeah.
like that. And yeah, it's sometimes hard. And even just like I told you, my boyfriend, he
Hmm.
also told me for him as a he is professional.
Yeah,
I'm
yeah.
not, but he is. He also told me, yes, of course, sometimes it's hard when you're like standing there and they're like, boo, or something like that. This
Oh
is hard
man.
when you like to try to concentrate and you want to do the service, you know?
Mm,
So that's crazy. But he also says you have to like concentrate on yourself. You have to like put that away.
yeah,
And also, he also says, of course, it's not always easy because you want to perform, you want to give the very best for your team.
of
So,
course.
yeah.
Very interesting. There's a book called Let Them. It's a one that's here from the US. Yeah, I need to look. I should look this up, but it's kind of from what I'm reading about it, it's Let Them is for what I read is like you said, when there's the noise, the cloudness of people saying boo
Yeah.
or getting
Yeah.
your mentality is like it's okay, let
Hmm.
them. Let them.
Hmm.
It's like or
Yeah.
a teammate says something that triggers you, but you're just like, it's okay, let them. You know, it's an interesting book, but I mean, I haven't finished
Yeah.
it yet, but it's called Let Them.
But
Yeah.
it sounds interesting. Yeah.
Yeah.
But you laugh about that. But when it comes to like car driving, I can't let them. I'm like
Well, yeah, that's
But
different.
yeah, it really is. I'm a kind of different person when I'm driving my car. My boyfriend
Right.
was very surprised. He said when he met me, he was like, "Oh yeah, she's very nice and cute." And then he drove, or he was in my car, and then he was like, "What's
Like,
going
oh
on?
crap.
What is
Oh,
going on?"
okay. He's pulling onto his seatbelt like,
Yeah, and he's a calm driver.
Hmm.
He doesn't shout. He doesn't say anything. He's like, "Well, let them." And I'm like, "What is going on? What is he doing there?" And I'm like, "Rrr." And
Well,
he's like, "Tina, let them." And this kind of makes me crazy, when he's
yeah,
sitting next to me and a person is driving like
yeah,
shit, And I'm like, okay, maybe you could go on the right side so I can drive. And
yeah.
I'm like, what is he doing? What is going on? And he's like, wow,
That's
Tina,
fine.
come on. And I'm like, are you serious? Are you serious right now? Yeah, he's very relaxed in
That's
situations like
good.
that.
Yeah, that's
Yeah,
good. Yeah. So
that's
you
crazy.
guys pretty much balance each other out.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah,
You
yeah,
balance him out, and he balances you out. Yeah.
yeah. Sometimes actually, but
Sometimes,
we can
yeah.
also fight. So he is also, everybody always thinks, oh, he's so nice, he's so cute. Oh, he can't fight. Yeah, we fight, and it's good. And I think it's very important, because if he would be like, yes, no, I would go crazy, actually. So that's a good thing that he can
Oh,
also show some emotions.
well, yeah, of course. It's I think I'm not an expert, of course, but I heard that it's okay to have a little bit of an argument here and there of disagreements. Just because, yeah, it's not a perfect relationship where it's always just yes, no, and there's no emotion, like you said. Yeah. So the book called Let Them, it's by Mel Robbins.
Mel
It's called
Robbins, okay.
The Let Them Theory. Mel Robbins. It's a very most popular. It's one of the most popular books right now of in the U.S.
Seriously, okay.
Well, probably around the world. I don't
I have to
know.
read that because it sounds so interesting. Really,
Yeah.
I'd
No,
love to
it
know
definitely
what
is. I
she's
mean, there
like.
was so many people even getting tattoos when it came out. Well, I don't have it, but
And let
when
them really
yeah, when they ever it said let them. They people
nice.
it's in the book. There's actually pictures that I guess fans sent her, and she put it in her
Seriously,
book of
no,
actual people putting a tattoo saying let them.
crazy.
So I was like,
Yeah,
wow.
but it's cool. It's
Uh,
like it's a statement. So okay.
yeah, it's like all right, let them. And I mean, that's the thing. You only allow so much of what you want people to, give your energy to them. You know what I mean? You
This
gotta
is what my boyfriend says. Stop it.
You're like, please, I already hear it from him. I don't want to hear it from you on this podcast.
No, but this is like, yeah, but really, actually, what you
Yeah.
say that's what he says, and he's like, why should you put your energy into that? Why? And
Yeah.
I'm like, because I'm that kind of person. That's why. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm ready to fight. Well,
Yeah, right.
well, before we end the episode on this, I just want to say thank you so much for coming on, Tina. I do want to
It
say
was a pleasure.
to add because I'm a huge filmmaker. I love filmmaking. I love studying about it. I love doing shooting films. But you know of Steven Spielberg, right?
Of course,
Yeah.
yes.
Okay. Yeah. All
I've
right.
heard of him. Yeah.
No, yeah, you've heard of him. Okay, so he's one of the greatest filmmakers out there.
Yeah.
But he got asked in an interview, and this was back when in probably late 70s when he did the movie called Jaws. Jaws was one of his most memorable films that he did.
Yeah.
But during the time when he did this film in the late 70s,
Yeah.
um, there was a lot of backlash. People were criticizing him. People were talking. So he got it. So when during his interview, when in the late 70s, they asked him, "How do you handle that? How do you handle people that criticize you,
Yeah.
talk about you?" And one of his answer he gave from the interview, he says, "I don't blink." And what he means by that is I don't let it affect me. I don't let it cloud me. I just stay
I got
focused
it.
on the
Yeah.
journey on the road. I just don't blink
Yeah. Like the
because
poker
yeah,
face, right?
the what?
The poker face, so that
Yeah,
nobody can.
just
Yeah.
well knowing how to stay on the vision, stay focused, stay strong. Just don't let what this person said, that person, this, distract you where you're gonna be looking and just I don't blink. I just stay focused. And that's really cool because yeah, you gotta have that strong mentality of staying focused.
Yeah.
Because there are people gonna talk, there are people gonna be jealous, the competitive side, but just stay strong, stay focused, know who you are, I know
Yeah, I
that.
try to.
Yeah. So no,
But
I
it,
go ahead. Sorry.
no, I just wanted to say it was really so nice talking to you. And
Oh yeah.
just like I also said, I was really, yeah, very surprised and it was really very nice. So thank you so much for inviting me.
Oh, you're welcome. Yeah, and if any of your athlete friends or your boyfriend wants to come on and share, I mean, hey, everyone's it's an open platform.
I will tell him definitely. Oh, what it means, I will tell him. Of course, he knows that I'm doing this right now, and he
Yeah,
was
yeah.
also like
Yeah.
very curious. So, who is that? Who is this Joshua? You know.
Like, oh,
So
is
we
this Joe
also like,
Rogan? Who is this? I know. No, I don't consider
yeah,
myself Joe
but
Rogan.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
We stay in
it's
touch,
been really
definitely.
nice getting to know you, and thank you for sharing your story, your journey. I feel like this episode will definitely inspire a lot of viewers. You know, I think they will once they see because of what we
Thanks,
talked
so.
about.
Oh,
Yeah, I
that's
mean, I'm
very nice.
inspired. I
Thank
was
you.
inspired by it, talking about the mentality, challenging yourself, trying to stay healthy and fit,
Yeah,
how
yeah,
working out and doing all that does help you with even work just
yeah.
everyday life. You got to be healthy, you got to work out, eat well.
Yeah, it really, and sometimes it's so hard, you know. I also know that when I'm coming home and I'm like really
Yeah,
exhausted and I know, wow, training is later, then I'm like, wow, okay, poo. But then when you are on the court or when you at the gym or when you're running, I don't know, then you are like also you're proud of yourself because you know you made that. You
yeah.
did that
There
today
you
and
go.
you feel better then. So that's
Yeah,
cool.
yeah, yeah. And if you detox a lot of the negative energy too,
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, and
so that's why
you get a clear head actually.
you
This
do.
helps a lot.
Yeah, very well said. Yeah. So Tina, for them to find you on social media, what's your Instagram link?
It's Tina Deutschmann, just like I said, German and man, but only in
Yeah.
German.
There's no dot or anything. It's just Tina Dutchman.
Tina dot Deutschmann, yes,
Okay,
but if
Tina
you
dot
like
Dutchman.
search for my name, you'll find me definitely. Thank you so
Okay.
much.
Oh yeah, thank you. And we wish you the best on your future career on being a teacher, the athlete, being a volleyball athlete. I mean, that's amazing when we wish you the best.
Thank
And
you so
yeah.
much. I wish you the best as well.
Oh,
Definitely.
thanks. No, thank you. It's been such a pleasure to have you on.
Thank
Well,
you so much.
guys, thank you so much. And I do want to ask you if you can follow Rhythm and Roads on Instagram, Rhythm and Roads Official, and the podcast on YouTube is Rhythm and Roads Podcast on YouTube as well. It's helps support all my guests on their stories and just future guests to come on. So thank you so much for doing that.
You
All
should
right, guys,
definitely do
thank you.
that.
Yeah. Thank you, Tina Dutchman, for coming on Rhythm and Roads. And guys, we will catch you on the next episode.